Hello viewers, I once again welcome you all to Sunya IIS. And friends, today we are going to have a new topic in our daily worksheet discussion. And this topic is on landforms. All right, friends, so as you know that we are in continuation of our Prelims 2023 crash course. And for the geography section, the physical geography is carried on, it's going on. Okay, physical geography is going on, and today's discussion is on the topic of landforms. This discussion will be based on the lectures which we have seen in your course, and the questions which are important as far as that lecture on the landforms is concerned, which can be asked in your prelims examination. So we'll be discussing some important questions which covers maximum portion of your syllabus. All right, friends, so let's look at the first question over here. As you can see on your screens that the first question is being asked about. Question says that a large body of magmatic material that cools in the deeper depth of the Earth's crust and develops in the form of large domes is known as. Okay, this is a very easy question which is being asked. We have to first understand that, we all know that lava, which is released during any volcanic eruption, okay, it goes on and volcanism take place, the lava which erupts in volcanic eruption during volcanic eruption. So when it cools down, it turns into your igneous rock. Okay, this is one thing which you should know over here. Second, this cooling down of the lava on the basis of its location, okay, it can be classified into two types. The first can be the volcanic rocks. First is called as your volcanic rocks. Okay, and the second one is known as your plutonic rocks. Plutonic rocks. What is the difference? When this, the cooling is on the surface, okay, the cooling, if it is on the surface, it is known as volcanic rock. Plutonic rocks mein cooling is always inside the crust. Okay, so cooling takes place inside the crust. Those type of rocks which are formed or landforms which are formed when the cooling of this magma, it takes place inside the crust. That means the magma is not reaching above the surface. That means it's not becoming lava, and it is getting cooled down somewhere inside the layers of earth. So that is, those type of rocks are known as your plutonic rocks. Okay, now what options do we have? First option here is your batholiths. Okay, what are batholiths? See here, this large chamber, okay, large body of your magmatic material, and this magmatic material, when it cools down inside the deep crust of earth, okay, and it develops in sort of large domes. Okay, large domes like this are developed. Okay, so these are known as your batholiths. Okay, now what are your laccoliths? Here in laccoliths, see, these are your laccoliths, these landforms which are lens shaped. Okay, these are lens shaped landforms which are formed inside the earth crust. Okay, so it is also a body of intrusive rot form with a dome shaped like of upper surface, whereas the lower surface would be level. Okay, it would be a flat base, and which would be fed by a conduit. Okay, this is known as a conduit pipe from where the magma it rises off. Okay, so this is your laccoliths. Then we have lopoliths. What are your lopoliths? These saucer shaped settlements in one of the layer, saucer shaped, it would be shaped like a saucer in this way. Okay, they won't be having flat base or dome anything, so they would be saucer shaped, and these are known as your lopoliths. Okay, what are your pacholiths? The antisyncline. Okay, when you have these type of wave-like structures, okay, these wave-like structures if you find, and whereas once at one side it would be concave, other side it would be convex. Okay, this type of landforms which are formed by the cooling of magma inside one of the layers of the earth, because of the layers structure, it is this way how the landforms are formed. So these are known as your pacholiths. All right, now if you look over to the question which is asked. So what is the question? The question says, body of magmatic material that cools in the deeper depth of earth crust and develops in the form of large dome is known as? So we had seen that this, what is that known as? It is known as your batholiths. Okay, this is batholiths. So here correct option is option A, that is your batholiths. All right. Okay, let's look over to the next question now. Next question says that which one of the following is not a fluvial landform? It is not. Friends, during examination, many a times it happens that we are in rush of reading the question and answering them. So we forget to understand and read the question in proper manner. Always remember whether it is given not, these type of words should not be missed. Okay, so read the questions very carefully while you are in the examination hall, and that practice can be done only through the mock tests. Okay, and we have also launched new mock test series, and PRP session, that is prelims revision program, is also continuously going on. New batch has been also launched. Okay, so enroll in any sort of test series so that you can have a practice before you go for the examination. Okay, so coming back to the question, it is which one is not a fluvial landform? So first of all, you have to understand that what is meant by this fluvial landform. Fluvial landform is basically landforms which are developed by running waters. Okay, running water. So whatever landforms are developed by running waters, those are known as your fluvial landforms. And generally, it's seen that fluvial landforms, they are formed in areas which are having, where humidity is high, with high humidity areas. Okay, these type of areas these are the areas where these fluvial landforms are commonly seen and formed. Okay, first statement is given you. This is cirque. We all know that cirque is formed in areas because of in areas with heavy glacier region, and it is formed due to glacier erosion. So cirques, what are they? They are basically the deep. Okay, you can see in this diagram. This is your cirque. Okay, so they are the deep, long and wide troughs or basins. All right, and they are generally concave. If you see, they are concave, and they are vertically dropping high walls at its head as well as side. Okay, from the three sides they are dropping. Okay, and they are found in the glacier valleys. All right, so it is cirques are found because of the glacier. It is not because of the running water. So cirque is definitely not correct, and definitely by the statement you can go with, and you can just if in the examination, don't waste your time reading other options if you get the correct option and if you're sure for that. But here we'll be just discussing the others also. But then we have George. Okay, this is George in front of us. Okay, this is George, and this is formed due to running waters. Okay, it is formed by the water table only, and definitely the structure of the rocks, hard rocks which are present over here, they also matter a lot, that in which form the erosion will take place and how the erosion will formally lead to. Braided channels. Okay, this is also formed by running waters. Erosion is done. Okay, so these are your braided channels over here. Okay, these are also done by running waters. Then these are your canyons. Okay, canyons. Remember, the canyons would be canyons and gorges. They are one and the same, but canyons, they would be more wide. They would be more big. Okay, they would be more wide and big. So these are canyons, and you can see over here running water is flowing. Now you can see this water in this form, but definitely erosion has been done because of the water level. The water level might have gone down because of the reasons, but it is all formed because of the water flowing over here. All right, so George, braided channels, canyons, this is all fluvial landforms, but what is not a fluvial landform is your option A, that is your cirque. All right. Okay, now let's look over to the next questions. The next question on your screen says that match the list 1 with list 2 and select the correct answer using the code given below the list. Okay, so here you have the geomorphic agents, and several features formed by the geomorphic agents are given over in this way in this chart, where we have groundwater, running water, glacier, and wind. You have to just find that which of the one is correct. Okay, so first of all, if we take the groundwater, then we know that lapis, okay, groundwater forms lapis. Okay, so what are lapis? They are weathered limestones. Okay, they are the weathered limestone. These are lapis. This one, these are lapis. Okay, these weathering is done because of the groundwater action. Okay, and these are made up of your limestone surfaces, and they are mainly found in the region. Which type of region? In the karst region. Okay, so this is found due to the weathering by groundwater. Okay, so with A it is 4. So A4 we have in option A and D. We eliminate B and C right away. B is your running water. Okay, running water. Running water will form plunge pool, horns, or playas. Definitely, running water will form your plunge pools. Okay, what are your plunge pools? If, say, for example, if this is your water, if this is your bedrock, okay, and river is flowing over here, river is flowing over here, and then there's, there's a gradient, there is a difference in the height, and river it falls from the top on this section. So because of the falling of the water, what will river water do? It will erode this area. It will erode this area. Okay. And because of this erosion, a pool-like structure would be formed here where the water is falling in this direction. Okay. So this pool is basically known as your plunge pools. Okay. So these are your plunge pools. So running water, definitely B ka 1 is correct. So B, we have A and D is the option. So B may 1, definitely option would be A. But let's look over to the other also. C is glacier. Glacier, horns and playas. Definitely glacier will be of horns. What are the horns? In a glacier, when these type of three, I cannot draw three sides here, only two sides can be seen. But when from the three sides, okay, the glacier is eroded. Okay, so sharp mountain edge sort of structure can be seen over. Okay, and this is very sharp edged peak. All right, so these three side erosion, this results into a horn. Okay, so with glacier it would be 2, that is horns. Wind leftover is playas. Okay, what is playa? Playa is basically a this is playa, as you can see over here. Okay, and this they are formed due to the erosive force of wind that removes the terrain, or that removes the upper layer because of the erosion by the wind. Okay, so these are playas, lakes also we have. All right, so here your D, wind, would be your playas. Okay, so correct option is definitely option A. We have eliminated the option. We found the right answer just by solving this A and B. All right. Okay, let's look over to the next question now. Next question says that match list 1 and list 2 and select the correct answers using the given codes below in the list. All right. Now here also landform feature is given and location, that in which location these type of landforms, these type of features, they can be found. Okay. First is your alluvial fans. Now alluvial fans, as we know, they are found in the mountain foothills. Okay. These may be mountains, and this type of fans shaped structures we can find. Okay. And these are the alluvial fans. All right, this is how alluvial fans it looks like. All right, so these are found at the foothills of your mountains. So for A, it would be 4. Okay, we all know how alluvial fans are formed. They are formed by the deposition of this coarse loads carried by streams flowing over the mountain slopes. Okay, so the coarse material, the heavy, which cannot be flown away, they get deposited over here, and that is how these fans are formed. Okay, remember that in humid areas, these fans will be having low cones and the slopes would be gentle. Okay, in humid areas. Why? Because of the flow would be, flow would be easy for the deposits because of the presence of humidity in the air. But when it comes to semi-arid regions, okay, then these cones would be very high because they won't be traveling long distances, and just near the foothills they would be found. So all the all the eroded materials, they get deposited into a very small area, concentrated area. So what happens is the cones are very high. In that case, the cones would be high and they would be steep as well. Okay, they would be high because the more the height is, steepness also comes in. Less height, less steep. Okay, so the alluvial fans is mountain foothills. Then V-shaped valleys. V-shaped valleys, they are formed by when the low landforms, they are washed by the rivers. Okay, narrow spaces between these two mountains, these are eroded, and these type of V-shaped valleys are formed, and they are basically formed in the mountainous areas. Okay, V-shaped valley one, then deltas. Deltas would be formed where? Deltas would be formed in the coastal areas. Okay, they are formed in the mouth of the river. Okay, they are found at the mouth of river. Okay, where the ocean meets the river meets generally the ocean, and these are called deltas. Okay, and how are they formed? These deltas are formed when the sediment carrying capacity of the river, it reduces, and the sediments are settled. Okay, and the settlement, they forms deltas. Okay, such shaped, and then rivers are flowing from such locations, and again here you will find a delta, and then river again flowing like this, and again delta formed. So this is how the deltas will be formed. Oxbow lakes. Oxbow lakes, we had seen in our previous worksheet also that how oxbow lakes are formed. But oxbow lakes are generally found at the middle or mature stage of the river, where the river starts to meander. Okay, and because of this meandering, the deposition and erosion of the river, it takes place, and finally the oxbow lakes are formed, which are cut from the mainstream of the river, which is flowing over. Okay, so they are formed in the lower reaches of the river. Lower reaches का मतलब ये हो गया कि middle stage, lower middle stage, and the mature stage of the river may we will find oxbow lakes. Okay, so D का 3. So A का we have 4. Okay, A का 4, B का 1. And then C ka we have 2, I think, yes. So the correct option is option A. Okay, A4, B1, C2, and D3. All right. Now let's look over to the next question. The next question says that consider the following statements in regard with glaciations. Okay, so this statement has to be seen with in regard with glaciers. Okay. Now the first statement says that reeds are knife-edged ridges which are formed when two quarries, cut back on opposite side of the mountain. So this is a reed. Okay. See, when two quarries, they cut backside on opposite side of the mountain, then these knife-edged ridges are formed. Okay, and they are known as your reeds. All right, that is this type of this is your reed. Okay, two-sided. All right, and this is very sharp edged, knife edged ridges. You can see over here, two-sided. Two quarries, they have cut back on opposite side of the mountain. These are the two opposite sides of the mountain. So first statement is definitely correct over here. Okay, first statement is correct. Second statement says that U-shaped glacial trough scratches and grinds the bedrock, removing any rock debris and surface soil. This is also true because U-shaped valleys, they are formed generally because of the flow of the glaciers. Okay, so you can see here this lateral moraines, this lateral erosion, and these eroded materials at the bottom also, they are all taken by the force of the snow or force of the flow of the glacier. Okay, so what happens is that it scratches and grinds the bedrock, and it removes any sort of debris. It removes any debris. Removes any sort of debris. All right, that is definitely correct over here. And the surface soil even is also removed. Okay, and when these are filled, these glaciers, they melt over, so they can be filled with water, and they form very clear lakes also can be seen. Okay, and such examples can be, your ribbon rake is one of the example. Then your Lake Ullswater in Britain, this is one of the examples. These are formed by the U-shaped glacier troughs. So here second statement is also definitely correct over here. Correct option would be option C, that is both 1 and 2. Let's look over to the next question now. The next question says that which of the following statements is or are not correct? Again, it is asking about not correct, so be very cautious. First statement says that canyon are almost equal in width at its top as well as bottom, while George is wider at its top than its bottom. Okay, this is the this is the question which is given. This is the statement which is given. All right. We know that George is a deep valley with very steep. With George would be very steep. Okay, two straight sided. All right. And canyons when you take to canyons, they're characterized by steep step like side slopes. Okay, and maybe they can be as deep as George's also. All right, a George, when we talk about George, it is almost equal in width at its top as its bottom. Okay, so this, it would be somewhat like this, equal in width, both in the top and the bottom. But when you take about canyons, they can be wider. First of all, canyons are wider and broader than George, but canyons can be wider in the top than its bottom. Okay, so here canyon is almost equal with the top its bottom. This is wrong statement over here. This statement is, this statement is about George, and this statement is about the canyon. Okay, so this statement is incorrect. This is not correct. Second, potholing process involves local erosion of potentially deep hole in bedrock due to turbulent whirlpool spinning stones around the bed, drilling it out. Definitely this is correct. We had seen potholes and all. Okay, such type of small holes are formed. They are present, and there is some gravels and substances which can cause a sort of erosion. These type of substances are present in small holes. Okay, and when running water, it flows over it, then what happens? Because of the force of the running water, these materials, they start to spin over and roll over. Okay, when they start to spin and roll over, they erode this holes. These potholes get eroded. Okay, and the erosion, after erosion, the size, it keeps on increasing and increasing, and finally all the materials are eroded. So this second statement is correct. Third is glacial deposit is smooth oval shaped ridge feature composed mainly of glacial tilth with some mass of gravel and sand. This is, what is this talking about? What is glacial deposition? This is talking about your drumlins. We had studied this in our lecture. Okay, drumlins. What happens when the glacier is moving? Say, for example, glacier is moving in this direction and there is a rock structure in between. So what happens is that the deposits take place over the rock in this manner. Okay, the deposits, they take place in this manner, and finally these deposits, they take longer features, and they get deposited in this manner because of the some sort of resistance in the flow of the glacier. That is important. Okay, and they deposit in this manner. What is this called? This is known as your straw end. Okay, and this is known as your tail. So this is how the drumlins are formed, which are the glacier deposits. A smooth oval shape. This is oval shaped, ridge-like feature composed mainly of glacial tilt. Okay, this glacial tilt would be formed with some mass of gravel and sand. Definitely, sand and gravel is coming with the glacier. So as glacier is taking all the sand, gravel, and the till and everything with it, whatever it is eroding, so that is getting deposited over here on the substance. This substance which is causing the resistance to the flow of the glaciers. Okay, so third statement is also correct over here. Which of the correct is not correct is asked. So one is not correct. So correct option, select correct answer using the codes below, would be A. That is one only. Okay, because that is incorrect. That is not correct. Okay, let's go to the next question now. Which of the following statement is correct in the context of glacial erosional landform? Okay, so first statement is asked about cirque or Corrie is an example of glacier erosion landform. Definitely, this is correct statement. This is a cirque. Okay, when the movement of glacier, it takes place, it erodes the it erodes the side of this mountain sort of, okay, it erodes these sides, and then a very very smooth sort of oval shape, this type of structure is formed, which is very steep from the three sides. Okay, it is very steep from three sides, flat from the bottom, and open from one side. Okay, three sides covered, open from one side, from the side from where you are watching it. All right. And this depression, this ball saucer shaped depression, this may convert, this ice, if it melts, this may convert into lake also, and these type of lakes are known as your tarn lakes. Okay. All right, so first statement is definitely correct here. Second statement is it has steep slope on three sides and open end on one side and flat bottom. Definitely it's talking about the quarry only. So second statement is also correct over here. Okay, we had just seen and we had just understood that what is this quarry or glacier or cirque. This is your pyramidal peak. Okay, pyramidal peak, the highest peak. Okay, horns, reeds. This is a reed from both sides. Okay, all right. Okay, so correct answer from the given code is both 1 and 2 is correct. Okay, so correct option is option C, that is both 1 and 2. All right, let's look over to the next question now. Consider the following statements. Stepped benches along the river course in a floodplain is called terrace. That is this is definitely correct statement over here. Okay, we may find such type of structures. And why have they been formed? They have been formed because of the flow of water, explained in a very detailing in class. Okay, won't be going into much details again. So this is your symmetrical terraces. Okay, and this is your asymmetrical. This is your asymmetrical terrace. Okay, they are symmetrical means on the both sides of the bank of the river. Say for example, here the river is flowing. Okay, and they have eroded these structures equally. Definitely the structure of the rock system is also important. Say for example, this is asymmetrical. That means the erosion on both side of the bank, or the terraces which are formed on both sides of the bank, they are not same. They may not be same because of the change in bedrock. Okay, the rock system on both the sides, they may not be the same. So the erosion, the erosion time required, or the factors of the erosion might have been different. If this rock is, say for example, softer rock, and this is a very hard rock, so it will take more time to erode. So the symmetry will not be there because of the difference of the rock structure. Okay. So these are step branches, step benches sort of along the river course, and these are known as your terraces. So first statement is correct. Second, a floodplain is a major landform formed due to wind erosion. No, it's not wind erosion. It is because of the river. Floodplains are formed like this only. This is the river flowing over here. Okay, this is a normal course. The river is flowing like this, and these areas, basically these are known as your floodplains. Okay, these areas are known as your floodplains. And how are they formed? Say for example, if the water in the river increases, okay, the water in the river, it increases, and say for example, water starts to flow in this width now, and because of the flood, water starts to flow over here, and again after some time, water, it comes back to its normal course. Okay, when the flood gets eliminated. So when flood is coming, it is bringing in a lot of silt, lot of sand, okay, with it. All right, a lot of sediments. Okay, it is all bringing in when it is coming in flood as well. So after the flood goes off, the settlements of the silt, sand, and sediments in these areas, they make these areas very smooth. Okay, and they become sort of plains over here. Okay, so these are basically then called as floodplains because they are caused by the flood water, and these plains are formed by the deposition of the sediments, and they have been made plains over in the sides. All right, so these are the floodplains. So correct option is this. Second option is not correct. This is incorrect option over here. So correct, what is the option? Which of these statements given above is or are correct? Correct option here is option A, that is 1 only. All right. Okay, so friends, thank you for the session, and we have discussed some of these important questions related to landforms, and in the next worksheet, we'll be meeting with a new topic and new questions. So thank you for the session, and take care, keep watching Sunya, and all the best for your examinations.